Hello and welcome to China Daily's Big Talk. I'm Jackson in Beijing. Today we will be talking to Mr. Ciuksys, Chairman of the Lithuania-China Business Council. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's very nice to have this opportunity to speak about our confederation, about the China-Lithuania Business Council. And I am very happy that our confederation, which is a lobbyist number one in Lithuania, created this year on the request of our members, Lithuania and China Business Council. I'm very honored to be chairman of this newly born baby.
Can you talk a little bit more about the newborn baby, the Lithuania-China Business Council? What's the function of the council?
Actually, because we are a leading organization in Lithuania and we have specific interests to respect, first of all, our business, our community, our members' interest, and where we have defined interest of our business, we establish with different countries business councils. So we have such a council with Russia, such a council with Kazakhstan, and of course I think that it's already late, but finally it happened, and we have it with China. And we are in close cooperation with our government, with Chinese government, because they are cooperating closely together, strengthening the ties between the countries and the businesses. Therefore, I think the moment is very right now to look to China and Lithuania with a new eyes and different approach.
So what makes China important for Lithuania to establish such a council?
I would be not maybe the first one to say that it's a very big economy and very interesting economy and a lot of new opening possibilities every day. Therefore, it's the first reason. The second reason is, first of all, we consider China as a very attractive country. First of all, culturally, I'm visiting already the third week China, and I'm again very much impressed because I'm an economist by my education, and really a big fan of history and culture, and I see a lot of new opportunities just in some undeveloped regions of China. And actually we would like to share our feelings, how we think that it might work in cooperating on the business level.
You actually mentioned there's some new opportunities in China. My question is, what is the most, which industry has the most potential for business cooperation for both countries?
I think we have to define the sectors which are very interesting. We are, of course, small country, but we are very much export-oriented. And the biggest opportunities for our export, I see, it's ecological products, it's food products, it's services, a lot of logistics, what we can offer. It's our plot of land, our specific economic zones, to be a gates and to be a bridge for Chinese companies to enter EU market. And I think that's the best sectors and the best vectors of cooperation, I should admit. And of course, I would be more than glad to receive soon several companies from China. One, for example, is a operator of industrial park near Minsk in Belarus, and we are very close neighborhood, only 175 kilometers, our capital from Minsk. So this company, very big company, would serve CIS and customs union market from Minsk, and we think that the same would be done from Lithuania. And companies are investigating our potential, already doing a homework, and I hope that soon we will have some kind of really remarkable breakthrough. I'm visiting here business associations, as well speaking with government officials, and I see everywhere that people thinking not just about the win-win, but win-win-win already, three-dimensional win approach, which is really the new modern thinking. And I found here a lot of very nice people who think the same way. So I think that's the best for me, what I just realized, that I am among friends, among colleagues, who plan first, and we are the same way.
As you mentioned, you have to make sure a win-win-win situation for like three parties, a three-dimensional thing. My question is, if there is a business dispute, how would the council solve it?
The council has representations in different very hot spots like Brussels, for example, or other capitals or institutions. So first of all, our members of the council have the benefit to use our strengths and our connections and our know-how, how to do the disputes, how to proceed with negotiations, how to approach the right institutions, the right officials to achieve the result in the quickest, efficient possible way.
I'm curious, who are the members of the council, and are there any Chinese members on the council?
Yeah, we were talking with several companies. One of the purposes of my visit is to attract new members. Actually, this process is coordinated by our embassy together with our government and us. It's a tripartite exercise. So we are starting from those who have some interest in China or vice versa in Lithuania, and we would like them to become our ambassadors in future, just promoting the council. And we would like to work the council in this way that our members will design the strategic agenda together with us, discussing and setting up the agenda for 2, 3, 4 years. Events, visits, sectors, that would be, of course, we are in favor of diversity. Therefore, our members comes from starting from service, food industry, transportation, manufacturing. There are a lot of companies already considering to be a part. Some of them already finished the procedure of entering, paying the fee, and then actually getting the full-fledged membership status. Others are consulting, because we are only the end of January, our birth date. So really very fresh, but full of energy and experience.
So I think diversity of industries is very important, and also the standard of choosing the members is also important. So can you tell us what is the standard of the membership? How do you choose members from the Chinese companies or Lithuanian companies?
First of all, we rely very much on our embassy and the vice versa Chinese embassy back in our capital in Vilnius. And it's maybe the first contact. Of course, somebody can approach me, but nevertheless, I will get some feedback from those institutions, from various, let's say, sources. And definitely when it comes to SMEs, I must say that it's better through associations, because we are umbrella type of our association, Lithuanian Confederation of Industrialists, so we think that council will operate the same way. Even the associations can enter as a members, and then you have the collective membership possibility, for example. Or individual members, because big industries, big companies, they already are really big enough to represent themselves. But we do it selecting diversity and recommendations, their way of thinking, how to expand, if it corresponds to others. We would like to be a sustainable organization. Then comes the second wave, the third wave of membership. But we would like to discuss it with already the council, within the council. That's the whole concept.
So this is your first time,
Yes,
to be in
it's
China,
the first time.
right? How's your first impression?
First impression is very good, because I'm traveling a lot. I've been to big number of countries, and country is well organized. Country has very good, deep cultural traditions, and actually a part of economic potential, which is obvious. And as I said, I feel here like among friends, because people are very open. People are really eager to know others, listen, understand what is very important. First listen, understand, build some relationship, and then it gets better and better. And business just follows. Usually I am the person, and we are very much Lithuanians, open persons. And we would like really to intensify the cooperation, to exchange maybe the students. We are working very close with your embassy about different cultural projects as well, about how to say combining business with culture, combining business with history, and really that's a new approach. I see that you have already developed during the centuries. Therefore, I am really happy to having this opportunity to visit the country.
How do you evaluate the current situation, especially economic relations between China and Lithuania?
Yeah, now we don't have very impressive figures, but we expect a big breakthrough in several sectors. For example, last year turnover was only 300 US from us to China, which is 0.45% of the whole export, but it doesn't mean nothing, because we soon have really very big increase in different sectors, and there are different projects, investment projects ongoing. So I think that in 2, 3, 4 years you will see a big development. And therefore the council was established, as I said. Members just feel the interest. Of course, we have Russian market, which used to be one of the biggest. We have European market, is the biggest export market for us, and we think that now we can combine, and again, this win-win-win approach will be a reality.
You mentioned win-win-win situations, which is really important for China and Lithuania. What policies will the Council implement to ensure this win-win-win situation?
We are in close cooperation with our government, first of all, and what we do, usually we try to be a good partner for our government, and government is our good partner. Usually we try to be very cooperative in constructing some kind of specific instruments, for example, missions abroad, to reconsider the policies, how to optimize, for example, embassies, their number, employees number. Usually our government consults with us, and we are again consulting with the government, and then we reach this kind of sustainability that first to discuss, because now world is so dynamic, people just doing a lot of mistakes, not communicating. That's the biggest problem. In our Europe, you see 28 of different members. It's sometimes difficult to discuss. So we really would like to intensify our relations with you, with other countries where we have some lack of representation. We will maybe increase the number as Lithuania, number of staff here in China. We think a lot of very precise, concrete steps, really to show our Chinese counterparts that we are doing very precise, concrete steps.
The council is relatively new, but there might be some challenges you might face in the future. So how do you solve this kind of challenges?
Usually it's always about the constructive approach. We have an experience because we're quite an old organization established in pre-war period, and then again after the regaining of the independence in 1989. So we will soon celebrate 25th of anniversary of our birthday. So we have this type of very good relations among the business people, and usually business is very efficient. And in our country it works like this, that business people sometimes comes into the government, and government people sometimes comes into the business. My example, I was Vice Minister of Economy, ambassador to a couple of states, then I am back to business. It's very good. I think that, how to say, this cooperation in solving the disputes, then it's really very fruitful, because you know the kitchen of both sides. And you know the arguments of both sides. Then you become really much more efficient. We are a small country. We have to be very quick, like in the basketball court.
Yeah.
You know about the basketball in Lithuania. Not always the highest
Not
guy
all the
shoots
highest players,
the best number, highest score, because the whole teamwork, always teamwork.
What are some future plans to better promote the business relations and trading with China and Lithuania?
We have several plans. It's short term. Let's say this year plans. First of all, we would like to have June business mission together with our Minister of Economy. We're going with business delegation as a council, and we are receiving the companies delegations from China. Then we have 8th of July conference about possibilities in China for our companies, for our council members. There will be, of course, for our council members, big discounts to participate, and the program will be designed according to our members' interests. And next year, we are planning together with Chinese embassy in Vilnius, already regional conference, inviting neighbor countries, Chinese companies, Lithuanian companies, 3-4 day business event together with a cultural program. That's the strategic, let's say, event for next year for our hopefully new members to target for.
Is there anything you want to share with the future members of the council?
I think that the main message we have to start. We have to start knowing each other, then we will build the trust, and we will build the organization together. That's the concept of the council. Let's do it together, because we are really very open, and we will design the program and the growth together.
Thank you for talking to us today.
Thank you very much. It was a real pleasure.